Hi, welcome back to my channel. This is Peggy from the Pearl Forest, and we're continuing our previous video that I made anyway, where I made some scrapbook paper, cut them down to 8.5 by 11 to make signature pages either in this direction or tall skinny. And then we were left with scraps like this. Now, what I determined that I could make with those is a little matchbook fold tablet to go in my journals. So they can be put in like that, and then this piece can go like this, and I'm going to be stapling this down at the bottom. What I found is, I wonder if I could just staple it upside down where the pages went this way. Then I wouldn't have to staple more than once. You could still tear the pages out if you wanted. You would have more room to write though if they were accessed from up here. So I think that would be better. I don't know if I'll be able to staple them here. I think I'll have to borrow a stapler to get in here. I should have anticipated that. Let's just make one so you can have the idea. If you have a stapler you can get in there, you can 3-hole pamphlet stitch. Also, let's move this out of the way and I'll show you those in a minute, but let's make one up. These are my stack of papers that I got, like 1,500 of these, and I coffee dyed them. So I'm going to stick this in the glue, making sure to line it up on the fold. If you have a stapler that can go through all of these, or if you want to sew it by hand or sew it with a machine, oops, that's a good option to just stitch along there. I don't have a machine for that purpose at the moment. Need to make sure these will still fold, so I'm just checking that out. So I opted to put 3 of these pieces of paper in here. You could put however many. You could have scraps for this. I just happen to have a lot of these, so I've been looking for ways to use them. Okay, so that glued in my tablet of paper. And then some of these I was able to fold like this, and some of them were a little shorter, so I only folded this much. So in this version, I would just glue down this flap. It makes it a little cleaner edge and a little sturdier. So we'll assemble that one in a minute. So this one, we'll do it won't be folded at the edge, but it will be solid the whole way. Actually, it is folded at the edge. Take that back. It's folded at that edge. Okay. Now, there's enough room down here that I can staple this closed, but you can still get the papers out. So I'm going to put 2 staples down here near the bottom. One staple usually is in a matchbook, the old-fashioned matchbook style. but they're a lot skinnier, so one is enough. So these can be in here. You can get them back out. And this cover goes in here like this. However, with the staples there, it doesn't lay down quite the same way. So I think first of all I should put my pin back in my glue. So I think that I'm just going to nip off a slight amount, about like that. You can see I didn't do that very straight, but it won't really matter because you won't see it. So by making it this style, you have this tablet of paper. You can use all this. You can also write in here, and the paper goes in there, and then this can tuck in here for a closure. You can stick this in a pocket, or you could glue this onto a page. But by having this here like that, I was just looking to see where all my tickets went. There's a little ticket. So then you can put something in this pocket, you know, small or big or whatever. So you have a pocket as well. It's open on this side. You don't want to close it because you want to be able to pull this out. If you really wanted to glue that down, you could, but then that would be holding your papers tight, and you would also have to, from where this went in the pocket, you'd have to taper it over to get past where you glued. So it's better if you can just get away from gluing it. So you have these nice little matchbox or matchbook style tablets that can go in a pocket. And this is just some scrapbook paper that I cut. Then we can also put some decorations on them. We'll see which one we'd like to do. These are some that are still available for folding, which I'm not going to do. I'll show you some of the ones I have, and then we'll pick a couple to put something on. So they're either the kind that are folded all the way down, like most of them, or if I cut the paper the other direction, then they're this shorter piece. But it makes still a sturdy edge, and it doesn't really matter. So you can see I've made a lot of pages and a lot of these. But I have my work cut out finishing these. Here's one, whoops, for the rose journal with some rose petals. Here's some 3 pages that can be going in here for that one. I have some clock with keys and birds and different other things would make good in a men's or a grungy kind of ones. These are very different. Here's kind of a sunflower one. Several of these I have already gathered the paper for them. Whoops, that one I just dumped. I tried to put together bunches of 3. I found out I do not have enough of this, so I'm currently dyeing more paper. I'm looking for something that might work nice with some bees. This would be good. So maybe we'll decorate this one as well. So we'll do those 2. So I already have the paper folded in batches of 3. And then I also have all of these. You can see I have been very busy cutting and my sorting and using it up. I have all of these. But I do not have enough of the paper, so I have some in the kitchen that I'm doing at the very moment. What else do I have to put on something? I think maybe we'll just stick to those two. So anyway, I have all of these to do. In our started but to be finished pile. And that's part of my use it up, sorting it out, is I want to actually be able to finish these bases so they're ready to actually go in a journal, and then actually find journals that they will go in, or make journals they'll go in, however that ends up being. Here's some cassette tapes. Here's some little mushrooms. I will be doing a mushroom journal at one point. Here's some retro telephones. Oops. I just picked up this box at the grocery store the other day. I saw somebody's, this one has papers in it, somebody's idea of nesting boxes for this stuff on their desk, their scraps and stuff, and I thought I saved that video, but I'm not sure where it went in the saves, so I don't have it handy. But I thought that would be a good idea because they would nest and they wouldn't take up as much room. So I have all of these and this paper and more, and I also have more scrapbook paper to cut. So those will be coming up. But here's these. And this part that I still have to fold. Okay. I guess because we can't staple the paper in at this point, and I can't sew it today, I'm going to glue these two sets in like I did the other one. I think if I get this, see, most of these are closer to the width than this. This is a little extra wide. I tried to get them to be the same size as the paper, but it's okay if they're a little wider. Important to try to keep these on the fold and straight together with each other. And these could always be sewn later or stapled later. This will put them together for us to use right now. Oops, that's not very straight. That's not very straight either. I guess the crinkles are making it look different. You could iron this flat, like I've said before with the coffee dyed stuff, or you could just go with the crinkly texture. Okay, fold this flap over. I think these rose petals will be a nice addition to one of the rose journals. I think I have 2 of those in my stack here. Okay. So this gluing option is one option. If you have a longer reach stapler, you can staple them. You could do a pamphlet stitch of some kind. You could do a sewing machine stitch. I suppose you could just fold it and staple it at the top where it doesn't completely open. That's an option. You could use brads to go through. Lots of options. This is the one for our example we're just going to use, but I am going to see if I can borrow a long reach stapler to do the rest of them, because I think I would like that best. I like them sewn, but I don't want to sew all these. Hi, Snick. Snicky Doodle is my pup. Okay. I really need to sort my art room some more. It's got a lot of fluff, as I call it. As you're going through things, it gets fluffed out. And he's bothered by the fact that he can't sit in my nice comfy chair. So he would like that back. And can't sit and look out the window. But we'll have that back before long. Okay, so we'll staple this closed. And you could put washi tape or something else to cover up with this, but I think it kind of adds to the matchbook look. Okay. In folding these, you could have folded these slightly different to not need to trim that. But since I wasn't sure exactly how I was going to do them, I didn't plan for that. Let's see. We'll staple this one and then we could decorate some. So we got that stapled. And we'll just trim a little bit off the bottom of this one. And tuck that in. So there we go. We have these three. All right. The one thing I thought I would use is this bee ribbon that I've got from the Dollar Tree. You get 12 feet of 1.5 inch wide summer ribbon. Plastic off. And I was thinking that we would just, oh, it has wire in it, which I think I'll pull out. This has this folded down. Maybe we'll fold the other side too. So that would be cutting this down here a little bit. We want to take the wire out. It does help give it shape. So if we bend this, we could put that on there, and then it actually could be a tuck. If we glue it on in such a way you could put it on. I could open it up like a belly band instead of having it folded. Although it's already really creased, so I think we won't. I think something behind it would be nice. Do you want to do a doily? Do you want to do a little fabric or lace? I have some little fabric strips here. While we're here, we could put some pink fabric on this and we could maybe kind of gather it up. So let's make it longer so we can gather it. We have this one. With the flowers. I think I'm gonna look for some lace down here. Under my desk I have some of that stuff. Here's little lace. This is a big piece. that I could cut for there, but I also could use that on a cover. How about this one? And we could glue this down without it being a tuck by just putting like some of this under there. Or we could put some of this on here. We could even just put that on there and leave that plain, because if we're going to stick some things in there, that might be nice. Let's just do that. Put this closer to where we want. And I think I had it wrapped around and just sort of secured a little bit. This has a little bit of a pearly look to it. We don't want that for this one. This old kind of style would be kind of nice for it. This one's kind of nice though. What if we do that? Let's see. Sometimes I just like to go a little beyond and find a nice place to stop and then adjust. It's got kind of a wonky end there. I think that will work. Except I was going to gather that. Still might do that. Okay, so we'll try this. I might need the art glitter glue though. Sometimes even this works. Cover the whole bottom little matchbook flap. Have a side. I think it's this side. Oops. Kind of off both edges, top and bottom a little bit. I think that's gonna stick. And then try to straighten this a little bit. Although it might not have been cut straight. So we don't have this showing through. We're going to just put it on this